Oh goodness, we're going into the next
Yeah,
round
we are.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Can see the tank picks here.
And it is.
Tomatitos up 2-0 on Himmelsdorf. We both said we didn't kind of expect that, even though their Himmelsdorf has gotten better. Double VZ, double 277, IS7, and a T100 Burbology. Double IS7, double VZ,
And the map
CS,
is
and a
Prague.
T100. Yep. And we have double T100. Well, not double, like, one T100 per side. I think Burbology plays this map better than Tito's. But, Tito's played really well on Himmelsdorf, and Burbology didn't play badly. They really
correct.
didn't.
No.
But the Burbology's play on like with players like Nova, players like October, Muscles, they just seem to strive, or they just seem to thrive. Sorry, not strive, in just fast mobile tanks on big open maps where they're able to make a lot of independent decisions. I feel like we've seen some teams bringing a T100 on each side recently on proc. We know it's a bit of a hindrance and a liability.
I think Burbo was definitely one of the first teams to bring it.
Mm-hmm. And we've seen teams crash and burn with their T100 plays, and we've had teams that have literally won on the shoulders of the T100. And look at this, it's East play for both teams, but a smart play with the double VZs at A6, kind of not over-committing to the 0 line. They're just sending a 277 towards the hill, I guess in place of an I7, but look, Major and Deceptive.
Oh my Jesus! We've seen this before, up and over, and on the low end too. So is this the?
He's gonna get caught out.
This is this. Do you know who did this last time? FHS, right? Wasn't it?
They didn't go up and over. They went 8 line, I think, wasn't it?
Right.
Did the blind push? Fluky just knows that he wouldn't be able to get out. He's just trying to live as long as possible and do as much damage as possible to these I7s.
They went 8 line, and then the guys went up and over later. But it was basically like similar, but it was like right off the bat too. And it looks like Fluky actually is gonna get picked here.
Yeah, and actually the way he's playing there, doesn't he get shot from the muscles on
for the
hill?
CS? Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, he should be staying down and just trying to make that work, I think, a little bit better. But he did okay.
He's still got a shot off.
Anyways, arriving, he's taking 1,000 damage. Hector taking some damage.
He's in a really bad spot.
I think that Burbology just has such an upper hand, and they sent their I7s up and over the hill before the 277 even made it to the 0 line.
The 0 line.
And the 277 was weirdly enough in a better spot than where he would have been if he had pushed up.
And now Sebastian and Sheep are basically ISO'd, and they're going up against 3 tanks. So.
And I mean, I think the CS on the hill was also pushing the I7s at the beginning too. I think Muscles was helping make that conga train happen. I didn't see the loadout if they were bringing governors or not.
Luxon trying to get some shots off on Nova, not really able to help here, as he's a T100. Server's going to go down to Octo. Octo's just going in there, trying to get that secure, and he does.
Easy.
And it looks like what you just said in the beginning of this game, I think Burbology is a better team on Brock, is kind of accurate.
That's exactly how I sound. Why do you think that is? Because I think you agree with me on Burbology being good on proc. What makes them good on proc?
What makes them good on proc? The synergy. Like, you could argue all day, but I mean, they got twins that play the game on the same team. You know what I mean? And then the other one's a cousin. Like, I mean, if that's not about as synergized as you can get, I don't know what is. You know what I mean? And then to top it off, you have somebody like Supernova, which it's a really interesting team because if you think about it, like Supernova getting picked up, a lot of people know it's a good pick, but I feel like people don't understand why. And if I had to give the best answer, it's the fact that he can play for himself. And what I mean by that is like the caller doesn't have to focus on him, and he can make a play from like his calling experience, right? And just his experience that he's had recently in like small format, he can just be like, I'm gonna do this, right? And a lot of time that's how you win games. You know what I mean? That's how you can turn the tables. Whereas like some teams have the opposite, right? Like you'll have Dark going over on 2 Sturves. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Like it's like that's like a really
Where
good way.
if there was a call, someone for Nova to do that, Nova would probably be saying something as he's climbing up the hill. I don't want to do this. I'm not going to do this.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know if this is a good idea. They have 2 Sturves. I think maybe they both come up here, especially against who they were going up against, which is like FHS, right? Like, you can kind of just like, no. And then that's not to dog on Dark. I'm just saying, like, it's just a easy way to, you know, just tell everybody kind of how it works. You know, it's just one of those things where one guy is a lot more vocal, or maybe can just like because that's the thing. I guess the best way to put it is you have 2 people, sometimes even 3, if they play OP as well, right? If they play OP, Super or Nova and Octo, they have 3 people that are looking at the match with a caller's mindset.
I think especially in like pre-match or like in between round, like practice or looking at VODs or looking at the strategy overall. Nova is one of those players that can be like, all right, show me the strat sketch. Okay, what's our strat? Okay, if we see this, we do that. And then he says, well, if you want me to go to this position, like, I don't think I want to be in a bad chat. I think
and it's so many, and it's so, and it
tells you the pluses and minuses.
And it's so many more people like looking over like VODs and stuff and replays and going like, oh, this is how they play and this is how we could counter, and if they try to counter our counter, this is how we can counter the counter. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's just like one of those things where
he's not an empty chair. He is thinking the whole time. He's one of those types of people that's like, he will ask you not like necessarily to, but he will ask why things are being moved around, why they are putting a tank here, why I'm seeing this. He is a smart player. He's just a smart player, and going into the next round, Tomatitos bring a leopard this time. We've seen.
I guess another good way to look at it is he's like the external of Burbology, right? He's somebody that can kind of just solidify it even more extensively. Because I mean,
you hear that external? You're the supernova of Flare.
Okay, dude. I said the opposite. I said the opposite. Why did you make it sound? I said supernova. Okay, dude. You're actually a troll. Like, this is crazy. I don't know how I'm getting bullied by...
October's pushing Major Pain. Muscles going forward in his STD. We saw the CS pushing on Cliff. And now we're seeing it on Proc as well, just to get the i7. And look at that lovely shot into Lux. And that's the... Really? But Nova, that's a smart play. See Nova riding the high line of that ridge in his Super Conqueror? That is specifically for that purpose. For that purpose, to be able to hit the scout tank. He's not down in the finger.
I love how we talk about him and then he just showcases what we were talking about. That's really good. That's like
everyone
really
else is going,
good.
He said Super Conqueror to the middle. I just drove there in a straight line. No, he knows like I'm gonna ride this ridge line for like there's a higher chance
because it's the height. That's insane. Little 5-head Nova, dude.
And Hector and his leopard looks like he's going to go straight down the zero line, up the zero line. And he's going to go straight for that high ground position to try to.
You know, I actually want to showcase something too right before because this is about to get really real quick. But basically, Burbology is one of the only teams that hasn't gone over the 7-8 lately on defense. Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
they didn't go over, and that's really interesting.
And they have an IS7, they have double VZ, and they have a
the IS7's at B6.
Like, I think they just feel like if someo's gonna be on the 2-cap, we can get the resets.
Ooh, but Bastion taking a lot of punishment. Well, actually, no, only one shot. Wow. Yeah, but it looked like it was gonna be a lot.
December and Kenway are exactly what it is. Remember we saw a team early in the season that was like, oh, they could just step up and double tap, but they went over the rails anyway and it was bad.
Right.
They're showing you what the plan is if somebody gets on that 2-cap. It's not just they have the finesse resets with multiple gun depression tanks. It's we can just step up with double VZ at any point and just kill.
Did Luxon get blind fired? It looks like he might have. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you're right, by Nova.
So they're trying to play 2-cap, and really, I mean,
I just love how good the T100 gun is. You know what I mean?
It's the best bad gun in the game.
I mean, this man is literally
prototypically Russian game.
This man literally just shot like 18 times. That has not hit one shot.
But then the next game, it's gonna hit every shot.
Right, and he's not even full. He's fully aiming. Like it's not like he's not trying. You know what I mean?
Nothing has like point. Oh God, what is it? It's like 0.4. I don't even remember what it is at 100 meters.
Like
the gun stat itself, not the like after equipment, and then
I think like base, isn't it like 0.42 or 44? It's really bad. It might be 0.4.
But that's like
actually.
for a 100-meter gun. And the weird thing is, although it's like overall accuracy's bad, it's soft stats on like movement and turret rotation.
Well, I know the AP shell velocity is terrible.
It's awful.
It's just like
800, 850 or something.
And ABCR isn't like. I mean, I haven't played it in a minute. But
it's significantly better, but it's not exactly. It's not your 1400 to 1500 APCR standard. It's lower than that. I want to say it's like 1200 or something like that, but I'd have to look it up to be honest. And Luxon does get on the cap. But
either way,
she took a little damage. They do have the possibility to try to punish, but so STB can get shots underneath if they were to choose to, but they're not. They're using him to go south. They have Super Conqueror that can get some shots underneath.
They're probably planning to pick the soup. If they pick the soup, then 100%. they literally can get the CS on hill. And
the thing is, they know where 4 guns. Well, they know where 5 guns are, and that's why they're gonna do it. Well, actually, I guess they know where everything. No, they know where every gun is.
Has the Leo got lit?
They know they're. The Leo's been shooting for sure, and I think whether he's penned or not, they know that the Leo's at A0. And yeah, their plan is we're going to take south because there's not going to be anything there. And if we can pick the Super Conqueror, we can. And now they have to counter push into the Super Conqueror and VZ as October. Jeez, that CS just really picks him up and puts him down as he sprints up the hill.
Oh, Serve going over and Fluky as well. With Sheep, Luxon, and Hector looking to come over as well. They're literally just countering. They're literally like, okay, we got to push this as fast as possible. Sheep goes down here first.
Sheep. And they know they can go right back over, but they don't even really.
Ooh, December's gonna try to pick Luxon too.
Definitely want to prioritize some of those fast tanks. You don't want that 200 to get out.
Ooh, Nova coming over and just keep picking him. Hector getting rammed here for like 250 damage, also getting his gun twisted around, and now he's gonna go down basically for free at this point. Bye.
Burbology up 3 tanks at this point. And it's an IS-7 and a CS, and they're stuck, and they're just getting flanked. They're going to go down here in a moment. Burbology just commanding presence on proc today. Like, again, their Himmels wasn't bad, but they're going to even it up at 2-0.
Wow, what an unfortunate fire. I mean, it's already over, but like that's a sore.
Insult to injury. Oh, and Muscle's showing you what my STB shots usually look like. Where you just go, huh? And then you kill Nova. Because you want the fantasy points.
And now Burbology is DQ'd. No play.
So a quick 2-0 on Himmelsdorf, and now a 2-0 on Proc. Each team winning their map picks at the start. We will be going to Cliff after this. But before that, post-game stats here. Serve 4k damage in the IS-7. And you can see Hector and Sebastian getting out 2k each. I mean, meanwhile, Burbology, Nova getting only killed by his team, but before that, killing 3 enemies and then having almost 4k damage. December 3k and a kill. Muscles 3k. Major 2k. I mean, it's Kenway not able to really get things. I mean, I think he was one of the ones that was bouncing on the. He was one of the first picks, and he was one of the ones that was bouncing on the Super Conqueror.
Correct.
Didn't get as much damage out. Sometimes it happens. We would hope he would be able to get more than that, but maybe, we don't know exactly the situation could have been.
Kenway getting benched for OP? Mud check? No play.
Could be.
But it looks like so far we've seen the teams win both attack and defense on the maps that they have picked. If this continues, that means technically Tomatitos would win 4-2.
Technically.
But
if you were Tomatitos, would you pick Cliff against Burbology? I mean, they picked it, but would you say, is this the map we want to play against Burbology on?
Yeah. That is.
You think so?
Yeah, because the times where Burbology has won have not been significantly like a big gap against other good teams. Like there have been like the one time that they did win, December literally carried the entire team
The
on his
7 of 5
back.
in the middle.
Yeah, with
Okay.
Kenway and stuff like that. Like that's one of the biggest ones. And then the other one, like the last time they brought a 705, it didn't even work, and they got rolled. You know what I mean? So, also we've seen Tomatitos play Cliff. They're solid. I think they traded with. Didn't they trade with Jack as AFK? I think they traded
so.
1-1.
And I think Fluky is a really good CS player.
Yeah.
And I think that also Burbology will have who in the CS? They'll have maybe Nova and is it October or Muscles that would play? Muscles usually plays the bat chat, doesn't he, on Cliff?
But he can play the CS if he needs to.
Yeah.
Remember, we've seen Muscles do 5K in the CS, right?
Yeah.
Like it's people like
Both teams have good
Muscles,
CS players.
people like Muscles, Floppy, Fluky. These are like the CS players. There's more. I mean, there's like
the first 2 tanks ready up by both teams is CSs. I just want to
right.
point that out.
I think the other CS is I think it's like Fluky and Hector. But I don't know if they're playing Hector in the CS after he did that weird 5-line play on Cliff last time we saw him. Remember when he drove in front of 2 bat chats?
Well, that was very considerate though, because the bats only had like 4 or 5 shells left between them, and
right?
that was just enough to kill him.
Didn't they actually win that too?